Welcome back to the podcast.
We do have a new background, can I just say? For those of you that watched and listened to last week's episode, I said, and next time you see us, we'll have a new background. And Renee said, anyway.
It's just like, you know what it is? Yeah, I just got in the mood to like, you know what, let me just try and do something in the conservatory because we can't keep filming in my mom's living room.
No, we were really taking over the whole home.
Yeah, for real. And with like everyone coming through and stuff, just be awkward. In here, we're kind of segregated to the back of the yard. And
this isn't our final setup.
It isn't, yeah. No, it's not going to be a final setup for at least a few weeks.
Yeah.
Until we get settled.
Experiment.
Yeah, we're just experimenting, seeing what is good, seeing what works well. So yeah, I mean, this is a podcast after all, so it doesn't really matter because it's about talking,
listening,
and listening. Yeah, but yeah, we're here again.
Woo, woo, woo.
What are you telling me, Prin?
What am I telling you? I'm tired. I'm so tired. I spent most of yesterday having a mental breakdown over. Tell me if you can relate to this. I just don't know. I feel like I buy stuff for summer and then like the next year I try it all on and it either doesn't fit or I just don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every year my fashion choices change in some way.
But wouldn't that be because styles are just changing all the time?
I don't know. Well, I was putting stuff on and I was like, okay, well this doesn't fit. So that was sending me spiraling. And doesn't fit because it was too big. Let me just tell you that. So I was like, oh well, I can't do this up anymore. And then it was like, oh well, this does fit, but like, ew, like what possessed me to buy this?
Did you style it the same way? You would have, or did you style it different?
I tried, to be fair, I did the thing that you should never do. I'd just eaten dinner, I just had a fat past the way. So I was bloated and
pure
swollen.
Carbs.
And I had no makeup on, my hair wasn't done. So everything I put on, I thought, well, this looks shit. But that's because I felt like shit. So you shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't. I always say, like, if you want to try something on, give it a fighting chance. Like, wear it how you're going to wear it. Like, if you know your hair and makeup's going to be done, then try it on when your hair and makeup's done.
Yeah,
which I didn't do. But it was really getting me down. And James was just like, oh, like, it's fine. I was like, it's not fine. It's only 4 days. 4 days.
Yeah.
But it was funny. We ended up having quite a funny anecdote, I don't know, time after it, because I was saying to him, like, you don't understand. Like, not even just because it's a girl thing, but I said to him, you don't understand because you think you're the shit. Like, you think you're the shit. And he was pissing himself. I was like, think I'm the shit. Like, who even says that?
Not James catching strays.
Literally. I was like, but you do. You think you're the shit. Like, he looks at himself when he's getting ready. And it's good. Like, he's like, yeah, I look sick. And to be fair, like, he does have the odd, like, oh, I don't know if I like this. But it's never to the same extent that I'm, like, almost in tears. Which is very dramatic. But I kept on playing that, you know, that Ice Spice song.
Which one?
The one that's like, you think of the shit, bitch? You're not even the fuck.
Oh, yeah. I
think that song is the funniest thing in the world because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I just kept on playing it. So I ended up just turning a sad, upsetting situation into a funny one. But I also then spent nearly £200 on an ASOS. So.
Ooh. Did I feel like that?
So I've got, but that was just me trying stuff on. Like, I'm not going to keep £200 worth of clothes.
Yeah, I saw you said this before.
So we'll see. I'll do a little haul when I get home.
Yeah, do a little haul and put it on TikTok.
I actually should. I've put it on. You guys can follow me on my personal TikTok account. I actually don't know what that's called. Peaches Curls, something like that.
Because your hair.
Yeah. I used to have a hair page, guys. I'm a woman of many trades. But I will do a little haul and we'll see. I mean, maybe not tonight, but I will do a haul at some point.
Yeah, just whenever you decide to try them on, just write the camera on, show us.
See, but you have to hate a lot of it because I can't keep all of that stuff.
Well, to be fair, most of the clothes that you buy are nice. I mean, I'm wearing some of the clothes that you bought.
Yes.
So I'm wearing these.
Caring.
What do you call them? Jorts?
I call them jorts.
Jorts? Jean shorts? They're like long ones. They come to our standard.
Yes, demonstrate for those watching. Oh my God, you can't even see them.
They're so...
But they're a nice long short.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm trying to stand up, but you can't see the
You can't even see where they end. See? Those cut-offs.
Yeah, so which are really nice. I've kept 2 pairs of them. Yeah. But yeah, you've got good style, good fashion. So back yourself, girl. I'm sure it'll work out okay.
I hope so.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's me. I'm tired because of fashion. There are worse things to be.
Fashion. I'll tell you what's in fashion right now. Kids. Everyone's just having babies.
Get that out of fashion.
Everyone is just having babies. I don't know what's going on, man. There must be something in the water for everyone to just be having kids.
People need to chill out. I agree, though. I feel like every day I open Instagram and it's like, we're having a baby.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it.
Yeah, or some gender reveal or something. Have you been hearing this stuff about Conor Maynard?
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? I thought it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So for context, basically, one of Conor Maynard's, I guess, ex-tings or whatever has come out and said that she's pregnant for his baby, but he doesn't want anything to do with kids. He doesn't want any kids. He doesn't want it. Apparently, he compared it to a dog. I was like, this is why I haven't got a dog, which is like a really bad comparison.
I feel like he was trying to get his point across and not in the right way.
Yeah. He's basically saying he doesn't want the responsibility of having to take care of someone.
And he has been very clear in saying he doesn't want children, and then she's still having the child. So he's like, well, that's fine, but I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. So
it's a sticky one.
It is a sticky one. Like, would you say he's in the wrong for saying that? Because, I mean, if you go back to it, like, something must have happened. She obviously, the Ova didn't use like contraception or something for her to get pregnant in the first place. And if he's really like that, he should be using it all the time. Mm-hmm. But there's a good chance that he probably did use it, and, you know, it's only a 99% chance that it works. So that 0.1% or whatever.
I don't know, because literally I was having this conversation with one of the girls the other day. I won't say who it was because it was like, I don't know if everyone wants their views on these kind of topics out there, but we were basically having a conversation and we were saying how, like, I would hate to be the man in that situation because don't get me wrong, being the woman in that situation it's your body that's going through it, but ultimately it's your decision in this country anyway. Like, if you get pregnant, you can make the decision as to whether you want to keep it or not or whatever. Whereas the man, past that point of you finding out, he can say to you, I don't want that baby, but like you can still keep it, and he has or like, I don't know, like I've heard of people that, like, I know, not just like tales, but people like going on a date or like having a one night stand with a girl and then getting a phone call 4 months later and be like, I'm pregnant, and it's like, it's not even your girlfriend, it's not even someone you were seeing. So I think it's a tough one because I think like it's shit. However, I think that when you engage in sex, you have a responsibility there and then at that point. If you know you don't want children, you have the responsibility to make sure that you use protection, or like the person that you're sleeping with is like on the pill or whatever. And if you don't cover all of that, then you kind of, I feel like you should step up. So
say it was a malfunction there.
Like a genuine accident.
I
mean,
it's
just shit.
Yeah. I feel like in that case, then the mother just kind of has to deal with it, because if he's saying he doesn't want kids, but you've given him a kid, like you can't just expect him to look after it if he voiced to you, listen, I don't want this. If he's already voiced this to you, then you can't be like, well, you have to do it. No,
you can't make anyone do anything. But then I think that's the problem. I think there needs to be more of a focus around like sex ed, in terms of like having sex, as wonderful as it all is such a big responsibility. Like, people don't think about what could happen after. Like, don't get me wrong, like most of us don't. I'm not saying that like we're all perfect, but like most of us don't. And then situations like this make you realise how serious it can actually be. But I think it's hard because I do agree with you. I think, like, he has said it, but then I also think that child's going to grow up with one parent and then they're going to be like, I mean, it depends what the child is told. Like, they grow up and get to an age where they're like, Mom, like, why don't I have a biological dad that's around? If she says, I made the decision that I wanted you, then fair enough. But if she's just going to be like, he doesn't want anything to do with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's shit. It's shit. So I feel like you have a duty to step up a bit. I don't know what I'd do though. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah, I feel like if someone told me, in a straight world, I guess.
In a straight world, if I was a man.
If someone said to me that they didn't want the kid and I was having a kid, I wouldn't then allow them to just come into the kid's life later on. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, you'd be very.
You can't tell me I don't want this baby, and then 20 years later say, oh, I want to
Yeah.
meet my son/daughter. Absolutely not, mate. You didn't want it then, you can't have it now. It's not your child at the end of the day.
I think I agree with you there, because I feel like you said you've made your decision.
Yeah.
You can't be just flitting in and out. You have to stick with the decision
Yeah.
that you've made. But I do think it's tough. I think it's really tough, and I can see it from both sides. I can definitely see it from both sides, and I think it's one of them. It's very circumstantial, and you've got to do what you feel like is right for you, because she might be like, she might really want a baby. She might think,
Yeah.
maybe she never thought she could have a baby. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Possibly,
I don't know
yeah.
the backstory of it. So I get it from her point of view. I get it from his. I think comparing a child to a dog is unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I guess what he's saying, he doesn't want to be responsible for anyone.
Yeah, he's happy living his life how it is. And
Yeah.
doesn't want to be involved. But yeah, I mean, it's well, the way it's looking, she's going to be a single parent, unless she's already got another guy that she's been seeing, and she just wanted to give kind of the courtesy of being like, it's your kid, do you want it or
I don't
not?
know if she did just want to give him the courtesy because she's been putting him on blast on social media. So like, quite clearly she wanted to talk about this, because she's like out here doing like story times and stuff, which is fine. Like, you can talk about what's going on with you, but also if you just wanted to give the courtesy, surely you'd keep it quite private.
True, that's true.
So I don't know about that one.
I don't know, but yeah, the way it's looking, she will probably be a single mother.
Yeah.
Raising a child by herself. I don't know. I mean, we've done it.
Well, we haven't done it.
Well, we
surprise, guys. We are single mothers.
I mean, we have been raised by single parents.
No, we have. And it's, I mean, look how amazing we turned out.
Yeah, man, just look at us.
So, Conor Maynard's baby mama, you've got this.
You've got this, man. It's not all bad. I mean, so some good, some bad, some highs, some lows.
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, it's a bit different for you because you're a single child. You're an only child.
Yeah, it was just me and my mom.
Just you and your mom. Whereas with me, it's me, my brother, and my mom. So I have an older brother, so.
And it's quite a bit older than you as well.
Yeah, there's 9 years between me and Sean.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like having, I don't know. I mean, he was more like a father type.
Yeah.
He was giving proper like older brother vibes.
Yeah, because I guess by the time you were 10, he was 19. Like, he was grown. I remember him coming to pick you up from school sometimes and me being like, who is this man? Like, who is this actual adult man coming to pick you up? Like, everyone else's older brothers were like 2-3 years older than them. But I think that's nice though, like you said, because he was an adult, so he could like
like mom didn't have to get a babysitter, like Sean would just look after me.
Yeah.
Type vibes. But how was it for you? Like, what was it like being the child of a single parent?
Do you know what? I mean, I think because it's all I'd ever known for the majority of my life. So my mom and dad were together for like on and off for like 6 years, from I was 6 till I was 12. So I feel like for the first 6 years of my life, it was all I'd ever known, really. Like, don't get me wrong, my mum had a partner at a time that wasn't my dad, but like I still knew he wasn't my dad. Do you know what I mean? So it still kind of felt like it was just me and my mum against the world. But I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
I feel like being me and my mum, because my mum's only, like, she had me when she was 20, so there's not a massive age gap between us. And it kind of just felt like we're best friends. Which is like, I don't know, it sounds weird because some people don't have that kind of relationship with their mom, but it was like we're best friends and like it's me and my mom and that's it. And it's the girls. And like I liked having like a girly house and like things that other people couldn't do in their houses. Like, I don't know, like people that had dads or brothers, like they wouldn't like talk about girl stuff that much at home, like periods and stuff when that stuff started happening, or just like getting changed in any room of the house, or like walking around naked, like not in a weird way, but do you know what I mean? Like, like everything was so comfortable. So I did really, really love it. There were times where I would be like, I don't know, I don't think I really thought about it that much until I started to get older. And I started to realise it was more of a prevalent thing that like people did things with their dads and I didn't do that.
So what age did you reckon this came about? Probably
when I was about 12 and my mum and dad broke up, like for the final time. And I think that was when I started to really see it. Like I had friends whose parents were split up, but they still saw their dads.
Yeah.
So like they would go to their dads every other weekend and stuff. Like one of my closest friends from school, like as in at that time in school, she was my closest friend. She used to go to her dad's every other weekend, and like I'd go with her sometimes, and like it was so fun. This whole
Okay.
like, oh, you've got 2 houses and you've got 2 families, like,
Yeah.
and then me realizing, oh, so I actually, my mum and dad could be split up, and I could still have something to do with it. Like he could still be involved. That was when that started to click, and I started to realize that I was missing out a bit. My mum did her absolute best to provide everything she could for me. And again, that was another thing, is as I got older, I started to notice things like financially where we weren't as well off through her being a single parent. Like I had free school meals
Yeah.
all the way through school. And at points it was something I was embarrassed about, because it was like, oh my God, like you're poor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're poor, you can't afford. And I look back and I just think it was amazing, that was on offer.
Yeah.
And like still is. It was amazing that I could have that. And I got to have a hot cooked meal at school every day instead of some like shitty sandwich. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was like took a lot of pressure off my mum, and there were loads of benefits that I had, like trips and stuff, like I'd get help with. But I was embarrassed about a lot of it at school, because I think because we went to school in like quite a middle class area as well, that made me like the money thing I was really focused on. So yeah, overall great experience, but definitely through the years there were little things I started to notice, and I thought, oh, so that's different about my life. But yeah, what about you though? Like, what was your experience?
I mean, mine was different because like, although my mom was a single parent, my dad was still kind of like there.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, it was like in and out. Because for those of you who don't know, Country Judah is a DJ. So he was up and down, here, there, everywhere. So it was just kind of, it's kind of, I just saw him when I saw him. Or on like a Sunday where everyone would go to my nan's yard.
Yeah.
But other than that, for the most part, it's always just been me, my mum and my brother. And to be fair, my granddad. But obviously my granddad wasn't very well, so it was more of like we were looking after him. So I didn't really like notice as much, because like there was always people around. Like if I saw my dad, I saw my dad. If I didn't, I didn't. It wasn't really like it wasn't really anything, to be honest. But you could kind of really see it again with like, you could tell with the financial struggles, because then once I was like, have you called your dad?
Yeah,
I need this and I need that, blah blah blah. But yeah, no, I feel like it was weird seeing people with like parents still together.
Yeah.
And then like comparing it. Because I felt like a lot of, like a couple of my friends, their parents were together for like the longest time while we were growing up.
Yeah.
And their dads would call, and I could see them like, the dad would be like at this, watching their like theatre show, or like they'd take us places, like take me places. And I'm like, I'm not even their child, but like they treat me like their child. You know what I mean?
Family.
Like even down to like getting say if we've been naughty or something, even getting cussed out, like they would treat me like I was their child. I was like, rah, I'm gonna just stop. Do you know what I mean? Because
you're not my child.
nah, I could never. But yeah, to be fair, as I say, it takes a village to raise.
No, it really does.
Do you know what I mean? And I was quite lucky to have a village around me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as, I don't know, I don't think it was as like, say, traumatic as it was for most people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm quite lucky. Like I've got an older brother who could look after me when I need to be looked after, or
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it wasn't that much of a struggle.
Yeah.
I agree, because I feel like my nan and granddad were heavily involved with raising me. Like my nan and granddad live across the road from my mom and have forever. So I agree with that whole village thing. Like my granddad, when I was really little, I used to call him dad because my mom called him dad, so I just thought that was his name. Clearly this man is called dad.
Yeah.
And it was the same like with my cousins. Like my uncle, my auntie's husband.
Yeah.
I used to call him dad sometimes as well, because they all called him dad. So I was just like, when you're really little, it's like all these people are just called dad. Like, that's their names. And I was always with them, so I felt like it was nice. And I think that's what I mean. Like I didn't notice it until I got older and I started spending less time, as you do naturally as you get older, with like your cousins and everyone else, and
because everyone's like creating their own lives and stuff. But yeah, did you notice the impact that it would have on your mom being a single mom
when I was young?
Yeah, when you're younger.
I don't think I did when I was really young.
What about between the ages of 10 and 20?
Definitely. 100%. I started to see it. I could see how hard she was working
Yeah.
to provide and to make sure that I could do everything. And I started to see like how hard it was for her when I couldn't do things.
Yeah.
Like if I was upset because I couldn't go on a school skiing trip, that's like $1,000.
Facts.
There's like no way
Yeah.
like that I'm going to be able to do that. And she'd be upset because she could see I was upset. And then that's when I started to notice that more, and I wouldn't like really ask for things.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I was really little, like you're like, oh, mum, I want that. But then as I got older, like I wouldn't really ask for things like that unless it was my birthday or Christmas, because I started to see like, gosh, this woman is breaking her back trying to like put food on the table. And so I definitely did notice it. And that's when I think like, I don't know, like I said, that's when it was so much different to other people's families. I started to notice those differences.
Yeah.
Because my mum would be working like in the evenings, like she never had a 9-to-5 type job. She's always worked in like hospitality or retail and stuff. So she'd be like working evenings, and like I'd make myself dinner every now and then. And it was like, God, my life is so different to some people's, because they would like their moms would either just work in the day, or like a lot of my friends' moms like didn't work as well.
Which is so weird.
It was so weird to me.
So
like,
weird.
But that is when I really noticed it. Like when I'd say stuff like, oh yeah, I had to, like I'm doing washing or something, like I'm doing like jobs around the house, and people were like, what, you have to do stuff? And it's like, yeah. Because it's just me and my mum, like I wouldn't have expected her to do it all. And that's another thing, like as I got older and I started doing more to like kind of, I guess you do start to kind of take that role of the partner from a young age.
You have to grow up very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's definitely noticeable, especially like going to uni, like first and second time, like people who really just don't know how to cook, and you're just like, how did you not?
Don't know how to turn on a washing machine.
What's going on? Don't know how to turn on the cooker. Are you mad?
It's like they've just, like so many people have just had like fairies follow them around. So like they'll just be like a trail of mess because they're so used to someone doing that stuff for them. And that's one thing that I think I want to carry forward, is that if and when I do have children, even if like it's a 2-parent household, I want to instill like
facts.
Do you know what I mean? Like you will know how to do things.
Yeah, you have to, because at the end of the day, it's part of their personal growth, and
it's life skills.
It's like it's kind of like stunting your growth a little bit when you're in your teens or whatever. But I was gonna say, did the impact of being a single parent on your mom, how did that impact you? Did it emotionally impact you in any way, or do you think it was just kind of you grew up with it, you lived with it, and just kind of dealt with it?
I'd say it probably did emotionally impact me. Like not terribly, but I think I always say you're a product of your environment, and I think I definitely am in that sense, because like there was a lot of stress. There were some very stressful times that my mom went through, and naturally, if you've got a partner or like the dad or whoever's there, you will lean on them. But I feel like because like we said, like we had to grow up fast. Like she would often lean on me. So I would take on stress that probably most other people my age weren't taking on. Do you know what I mean? And having very serious conversations and stuff. And I feel like in ways it's made me so much stronger and resilient, because now I'm like, I can deal with shit. Like I can just, because I always have. But then in other ways, it's made me so much more like, I feel like I'm quite an emotional person.
Yeah.
My mom is a very emotional person. So I'm used to seeing her like upset in certain situations. And then it's like, well, that's how I deal with it now.
Yeah.
Is by just getting upset.
It's mad that you say that, actually, because my mom's not really that an emotional person.
No.
Like she doesn't really, I think I've seen my mom cry like probably 5 times my whole life.
That's mad.
Yeah. But she's
still won't cry like 5 times this week. I'm joking, Mom.
But she kind of had to do that, because obviously she had me, my brother, and then she was looking after my granddad as well. So she always kind of had to be strong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's, so a lot of any feelings that she might have had, either would kind of put it down or we just wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably how I handle things.
See, I think that is definitely 100%. But I think that is so interesting that we both have kind of taken that. But I think as well, what's interesting about what you've just said about like your mom obviously needing to be strong and hold that down, and so she wouldn't show you guys that, is that it's crazy, because I feel like if most people met my mom, they would not expect her to be that emotional, because my mom can be quite like stern.
Yeah.
But I feel like she was like that with everyone except for me.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like when you're with your partner, they see you at your most vulnerable.
Mm.
I feel like I would get that of my mom.
Yeah.
And then everyone else would be like, because she is so strong. God, my mom is probably like
Yeah,
the
man.
strongest person I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, no offense to your mom or anyone else. But, you know, we're all biased.
Yeah.
But like, I think mom is incredibly strong. But I feel like with me, she can like let that guard
Let
down.
the wall down, yeah.
And it just come out. So I think that's very interesting.
Interesting.
That's a good one, guys.
So how do you think it affects your social dynamics now? Because you can meet people and they can be either understanding or they'll just be like, what? I don't understand. Like, why is that this? It's like when you hear the stories of like someone from a African household or like a Jamaican household or some form of a black household.
Yeah, like a strict black
and
household.
like going to stay at their friend's yard for a night.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be like, why do you need to stay at your friends? You've got a bed
like
here
that
type
would never
vibe.
happen.
Yeah. Or like when you go to that one friend's yard and they can speak to their parent basically how they want.
Yeah.
And you're like, what did you just say? Because literally would have got a slipper dashed at your head or something. Do you know what I mean?
Been at friends' houses and they've been like having full on screaming matches with their parents.
Effing and blinding and all sorts. And
then their mom will turn around and be like, I bet Princess wouldn't speak to her mom like that. And I was like, no, I would not. You are correct.
Yeah, for real.
I would be scared to speak to my mom like that.
So do you think it affected any of your like social dynamics in that way? Do you think it drew you to similar people to you? Do you think I don't know. I feel like it's a bit harder with you because your friend group is so diverse.
Yeah, it is. It is very mixed. Like I've got like close friends whose parents are still together, have been forever.
Yeah.
Parents who aren't together, people that like speak to their dads, people that don't speak to their dads. Or I'm only friends with people that are very understanding of my situation. Like all of my close friends know the full situation to do with my mom and dad and like how I grew up and stuff. And like it has definitely made me like, because I like to be quite open and quite vulnerable as a person. So I would only be friends with people that I can really trust. And I think that became apparent from quite a young age because when my mom and dad did break up when I was like 12, I didn't want to tell so many people for so long because I was like, what are they going to say? And then that's when I started kind of, I think, weeding out like the friends that I could trust.
Yeah.
And like give that information to and like feel comfortable. And so I think it did probably affect my friendship dynamics now that I don't think I've ever thought about that before, but I think it's made me have much stronger trusting relationships with people because I've had so much shit that's gone on that I wouldn't feel comfortable just telling anyone and everyone about.
Yeah, fair.
Because I feel like some people's lips are too loose and I am quite private when it comes to stuff like that. Like otherwise I'm like an open book, but when it comes to certain things, like it's not anybody's business. So I think it has made me very cautious. Like if I wouldn't tell you that information, do I really consider you a close friend? If I don't feel comfortable telling you, what is the reason?
What was that? Gotta click for that one still.
What about you? Do you think it changed your dynamics now? Because I think that's a very interesting. I love that one. Let's think about that one.
I think the initial shock of it, like for example, when you first went to Codsall,
yes,
that was probably when it affected it the most because I didn't understand anything. I was just like, what is this? You have two parents.
How does this happen?
You talk to your mom this way? Okay, interesting. Or if like, I don't think, for example, like a certain friend group, none of them are like bad people or anything, but I don't think they would understand if we was going through something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I rarely had people like sleeping over at my house and
no, I never I think I only had like one or two friends that ever slept at my house. Some of my friends have never even been to my house.
Yeah. And I feel like because of that it might have made people not trust me as much because they're not as involved in your life. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like where's the line? Like what do you tell people and what do you don't? When is it a burden and when is it not? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's hard. It is hard. And like I feel like you feel like a sense of embarrassment when you're young.
Yeah.
Because you didn't realise that everyone's families are fucked up when you're young. You just think, God, why is my family so dysfunctional?
Exactly.
And then you get older and you realise that everyone's like...
Yeah. I mean, I always play it off because I'm like, oh, my dad's a DJ, so that's why all this is happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a pop star.
So... but yeah, I don't think it I think it affected me socially in that way. But for the most part, as I said, I was always on road. Like I'm such a free-spirited
Yeah.
person.
You've
Where
always
like,
had loads of friends, like
yeah, but that could have been the problem. I have loads of friends to kind of,
loads of good friends.
yeah, to shadow what's going on
Yeah.
behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Is that why we used to? Because if you compared like school versus now,
Yeah.
and me with people I talk to, it's minimal.
True, but I think that happens naturally anyway.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. No, I agree though. I think it could be massively to do with that, like masking what was going on. Because you were always like the life of the
Yeah,
party, like you were always so bubbly. I don't think it was obvious to anyone that you had shit going on.
yeah. So yeah,
Interesting.
if it did affect me, no one would have ever known. I guess
No.
no one would have known at all.
Just got on with it.
So have you got any lessons learned? Anything you want to take away?
I think, I don't know. I think hats off to single parents, first things first, because it's not easy. And I think my mom did an incredible job, and so did your mom.
Yeah, mum.
100%.
Can't lie though, don't miss corned beef and rice.
I love corned beef and rice. Mom actually made my mom make it the other day.
I'm pretty sure that was our struggle meal, but
It is a struggle meal. Corned beef and rice, though, sweet corn.
yeah, but like 3-4 times a week because like it's long.
I know that's another thing about like single, because when it's just the fewer of you that there is as well. Like my mom is not going to cook a big meal every night, so like we're eating what she's cooking on Monday, we're going to eat Tuesday, Wednesday.
Facts. Yeah.
So like that is going to be eaten the next 2 days, or it's going to go in the freezer and it's going to come out next week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be eaten again.
It's so funny you say that because you'll never guess what's in that white box over there. Asked mum earlier.
What is it?
It's rice in that box.
Rice? If you guys could see how big this box is.
I picked it up. I was like,
Cooked
"Oh, is this going in the?"
Or
I said, "Mum, is this going in the garage?" Because we're moving some of my stepdad's stuff out of here. Is this going in the garage? She's like, "No, there's rice in there." I was like, "Rice."
I just can't. I love this house, honestly. When I asked me if I wanted a drink earlier, and I was like, "Yeah, what have you got?" Please tell me. The list just went on. I love it. There's options of everything.
Yeah, which it's weird because it's like a complete 180
to
from
what it was like.
what it was like. I think obviously, well, my mom has a partner now, so that's probably
So
why.
it's easier.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
Lessons learned. Sorry, sidetrack. Yeah, I think I've learned. I don't even know what I've learned, or if I feel very proud of like my mom and me, and I think just in general. I think one thing I have learned is like, I don't know if I'm very good at this even now. It's just kind of putting boundaries in place. I feel like sometimes as a single parent, so like me and my mom now, obviously I'm 26, it's always just kind of been me and my mom, and I feel like sometimes there aren't many boundaries between us as like mother and daughter, because for so long it has been like I've been kind of like the partner and the daughter, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of you've experienced this, you'll probably understand.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes I can be like, I'm always there. If she needs me, I'm always there. But sometimes I feel like I need to be better being like, I can't take that on right now. Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, not right now. But that would be my only thing. But I also think, or like, I don't know, I would never not be there. So I'd never be able to say that, I don't think. That's my only lesson learned from the situation. But I also just think, I don't know, I'm glad that I'm glad that she did it. I'm glad that she did it. Glad that she raised me, and
she did it in a good way.
Yeah, I think when I was really young, she definitely was she was very strict.
Yeah.
And maybe like verging on too strict. But I now understand again, because she was playing the role of mom and dad. She was a good cop and bad cop. So she had to be more bad cop always, because she just wanted what was best for me. She didn't want me out on streets. She didn't want me pregnant at 12, 13 years old. She didn't want me, do you know what I mean? Bringing trouble to the door, getting involved with stuff that I shouldn't be getting involved with. So
which is very easy to do. In like
the area
that you was in. Yeah. It would have been very easy to do.
So I think she had to be like extra strict to make sure that I like respected her, and was also a little bit scared of her. So I wouldn't do that stuff. And like when I was younger, I used to get frustrated, but like now I get it. And also I never had that like teenage I hate you mom phase. Like I've never had that.
Did you never run away from home?
No. When I was like 5 once, I ran away.
I did it when I was like
granddad's.
I think I was like 9 or 10.
Really?
Got my bike, my rucksack, and rode round to my
Yeah.
anti-jeans
I
shop.
got my little Barbie suitcase. I put in a pair of pants and a vest and walked across the road to my nan and granddad's.
Stop it.
And I slept there for one night. Because I love my nan and granddad, I was buzzing. And then I started crying the next day because I thought my mum hated me.
Oh, yeah.
And my nan was like, Farah, you need to apologise.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
That's my lessons. I don't know if they were really lessons learned or more of just a general
things that you've taken
reflection,
away.
things
Yeah.
I've taken away. What about you?
I don't even know, I feel like I've taken away the fact that like all isn't as it seems.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
Give us some more.
I didn't know we were like not well off until I didn't
Until
really.
there was something to compare it
Yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly that. So for me, like, it's not all as what it seems. And then, yeah, I think now seeing the difference as I'm older, compared to when mum was actually by herself, it's like, it's just mad to me. Like, 'cause I'm looking back, because in the time, like, I'd be like, corned beef and rice. Like, why are we eating this food? Like, what? I don't understand. Like,
where is my steak and sea bass?
For real. With them times, I wouldn't have even really been exposed to that. No. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably like five meals on the roster.
Yeah.
It was like your typical Sunday roast, like your roast chicken or whatever, or you'd have the black Sunday roast where it was like curry goats and fried chicken.
The best kind.
She'd make that on. She'd make the English one on the Thursday, the black one on the Sunday. And then we'd probably get like 4 more meals out of that. So that was that week sorted. Yeah. And then the next week it's corned beef and rice. So like, it's just like, yeah, all is not as it seems, guys. And just trying to listen to your parents, even though they're not really saying anything. Yeah. Just look around, have a look at your surroundings. See, you can see them struggling.
If it feels like they're being difficult, there's probably a reason why.
Exactly.
They don't just hate you. They're not just doing things to spite you. So there probably is a reason why, like, they're humans too. And I feel like even that now, sometimes I get frustrated with my mum or my nan and granddad, just like people older than me. And I just think they've lived this life.
Yeah.
And not only have they lived this life for longer than we have, but also this is their first time living too. So like, they're going to make mistakes and they're going to do annoying things. They've never done this before.
Yeah.
So just give
especially with the child as well. If you're an only child, like, remember, you're their first child. Like, everything they're learning to do is the first thing.
So they're allowed to make mistakes.
So let them, man. Don't be too hard on them. They're trying their best. But yeah, I think very inspirational.
I really, really, really enjoyed that conversation. I feel like it made me think about a lot of things that, like, I've thought about before, but like not from that angle, not from that perspective. So that was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man. It was sweet. Sweet like chocolate.
Oh,
you bring me so much joy. Sweet like chocolate. Ah, gosh, get us on stage. Who even are we?
Simon Cowell, sack off the boy band you're looking for, because you've got the next girl duo.
That's what I'm saying. Just a bit of quick 16 for you guys. No, never. Anyway, I think that's been the episode.
I think it's been
a really good one. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Press the big red button just below the video.
You can't miss it.
It's massive. It's in your face. It's literally in your face. Yeah, drop us a like. If you want to say anything to us, chat to us, drop a comment. Any opinions on the episode, anything you thought you agreed with, disagreed with, maybe your own personal experience of how it's been, living with a single parent.
Or being a single parent.
Or that, yeah. To be fair, because bare people are like, that we know have got kids, so this is like, it's mad. If you listen on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. We would really appreciate that from you guys. Hey, Bryn, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok, as always, at branchingOutPodcast_. And if you would like to send us an email, I always feel so formal when I do this. I feel like I'm in a T's and C's. If you want to send us an email, guys, you can do that as well at branchingout2023@outlook.com.
Yeah. Oh, really quickly before we do sign off, if you have any ideas of what you kind of set you'd like to see from us, like,
what this
look
like?
Do you like it when we was on the bed, or when we're sat on a sofa, or 2 chairs? Like, how do you like
when we're holding the mics? Do you prefer it when the mic's just sat in front of us?
Give us your opinions. We really want to level up our podcast game. So
we've got lots of creative freedom. There's lots of things we can do, but we're not quite sure what to do.
What direction to go in. So anything you want to say, just let us know. I've been Renee.
And I've been Princess.
I'll see you later.
Bye.